Hello, wrestling fans. This is not your usual edition of the Suplah, because something has happened in the world of YouTube, which is kind of affecting not just the Suplah, but practically everyone across the board in the entire wrestling world. And this man may know something about that. His name is Liam Dunn.
So recently, we won't go through the whole history of it, but there's been a YouTube boycott by a lot of advertisers, and because of this, YouTube has deemed wrestling and wrestling related content, regardless of whether it is wrestling, actually features wrestling, or if it is people talking about wrestling, it has deemed it as not advertiser friendly. And whilst we can't really defend ourselves here because we aren't advertiser friendly and we've never claimed to be advertiser friendly, that's why we have a warning at the start of the show, it has impacted a lot of wrestling related channels, and I didn't really notice it up until the day that we're recording this video, where WCPW has announced that they are cancelling their weekly show because it's not financially sustainable with the current YouTube climate to do a show on a regular basis. Whilst it's totally understandable why they've had to do it, it's kind of the first major casualty of this YouTube situation that has also affected us. Now we're in a slightly different boat because we don't live off the money that the Suplah brings in through advertising. In fact, actually, I don't know how much money we actually make through advertising.
It's fuck all, basically.
The Suplah is just something that we do for fun. We love to talk about wrestling to our fellow friends, fellow wrestling fans, and to you guys who leave comments, you share the video, you interact with us on social media. Without you guys, obviously, this wouldn't be a thing, but it is kind of this is the time where it's kind of a now or never situation where we need to pull together as a community to kind of try and look out for one another, especially for YouTube creators.
The only thing I've ever bought because of this is if I can pick it up and not fuck up everything, it's this. That's it. That's literally it. We're in a situation where this wouldn't really affect us too much. I mean, we'll lose.
We have noticed that we have lost money in total from the channel that you're watching on.
Yes.
But thankfully, we have a gaming channel which is kind of, keeping us back in the normal sort of amount of money that we normally earn, which says a lot considering how small the gaming channel is.
Yes, and I mean that's the thing. Like, the gaming channel
doesn't even have 10 times as many subscribers. 10, you know what I mean? It's got not even 40 subscribers, and yet it's earning more money than this channel, and that's not necessarily an issue, but
I can see why it would be an issue for people who rely on this.
Yeah.
To put food on the table, to pay their bills. This is just a hobby at this point, where it's just for shits and gigs.
It's not advertiser friendly.
I don't give a fuck. People, wrestling companies, not just WCPW, but across the board, YouTubers like us, fucking, I don't know,
Wrestling with Regret.
All of these people are now suffering. And this isn't a joke. This isn't some kind of fucking. This is food on the table. This is providing for people's families.
I mean, luckily, like we said, this isn't our job. The only money that we've spent is getting equipment to try and make it better.
But the only way that anything will ever change is if everybody, regardless of what their situation is, what they use YouTube for, needs to stand together and say, this is bullshit. This needs to stop happening. And here's the kicker. Here's the great kicker. You told me, and I didn't believe you, but I did some Googling, ironically, because it's on Google. How can you get in contact with YouTube?
You can't.
I'm sorry, what?
You can't get into contact with YouTube or Google. There is no point of contact. And the other thing that I find personally insulting, because like I said, What Culture are a client of mine, and now because they're going to be suffering, I might be losing out on my personal money. I have got other clients, but What Culture are my main ones. But anyway, that's not the point. The issue that I think we all have is that this has not affected WWE. WWE is still advertiser friendly because they have a deal with Google and YouTube. what you're seeing is what we do. We just sit with our friends. They could be in America, they could be somewhere else in England, and we just talk about wrestling. We talk about what's currently going on. In fact, only yesterday we did a live show discussing, you know, the new WWE champion, which is weird to think, Jinder Mahal. But regardless, it's personally insulting that something that has happened, something that we had no issue with, that it didn't concern us, has now greatly affected us. So, I mean, for me, I just kind of want to take this time and opportunity to kind of just say, it's going to be shameless pandering, but we have got a Patreon page. Now, before anybody goes on, like I said, we do not make money off of this. I consider the Suplah a non-profit situation now.
It's a vanity project.
Because
at this point,
there was a point where we did want this to be our full-time job. Thank God that never got ahead now, considering.
Oh, fuck me.
Thank God that never went ahead.
I won't pay the rent or do anything.
So
Jesus Christ.
The Suplah becoming a full-time job is nigh impossible at this point in our lives, unless something drastically changes. So the money that we're using for Patreon, and God forbid if we get any kind of advertising revenue, any money that we get goes back into the show to get new microphones, webcams, whatever we need to keep the show and generally the kind of brand naming alive.
That's why I stopped using this pile of crap, which is totally broken.
You know, we have a website that you can go and visit, and we're going to kind of try and throw a bit more emphasis on that. But the point is that the Suplah, this YouTube channel, will always be our primary focus, because this is where we started. It has never really been about the money. Yes, we wanted at one point for it to be a thing that can, you know, push us through life, but it's not going to happen now. So I want to call on all of our loyal fans that we have, the Suplah City citizens, that if there's anything you can give to Patreon, to us through Patreon, we would greatly appreciate it. We understand that some of our fans are a bit more younger than us, that they may not have jobs or full-time jobs, they don't have enough to you know, lend the Suplah a helping hand. If that is the case, that is fine. We're not gonna, you know, stop doing these. We still enjoy doing them.
Yeah,
but
we need to preface these. We're not stopping
for
some reason. Like, it's just we're addressing an issue because
it's going to affect us. And like I said, you know, the money that we were using, the money that was coming in, we were using to put into the show. Now we're not getting as much money to put into the show, which means we don't have enough time to, you know, try new things. One of the reasons why we moved in together is because we wanted to try new things, but it just hasn't happened, and it's definitely not going to happen now.
I think this situation didn't help.
No,
because this happened about halfway through moving here.
Yeah.
And we were like, why do you choose to do it this year?
Yeah.
Of all years, the worst years.
So if you can't give anything to us through Patreon, that's totally understandable. We're not going to jeopardize or anything like. There is an exclusive show on Patreon. I will push that, but don't worry, it's fine. There are other ways to help support us. You know, like us on Facebook, go to Instagram, follow us on Instagram, interact with us on social media, spread the word. Just kind of keep everything going. You know, do what you can to help us to entertain you, essentially. And that's a really cheesy thing to say.
Yeah.
No.
But and as well, if there's anyone out there who does YouTube videos and stuff like that, we need to band together here. This is a thing we have to do. So this is me calling out to everyone. Please, for the love of God, we need to fight this, because it's alright for us. We don't give a shit, but there's other people out there that do. And we all have to band together at this point. Well, this has been a strange one. I have been Andy Quab.
I've been Liam.
And let's hope this thing sorts itself out.
Oh yeah, that's one other thing. We used the money to get a new theme song. That was another thing.
God bless you, Jinder Mahal. God fucking bless you.